I want to give you a God-given story. It's happened again, and it's happened to me a few times in this life. My life absolutely was orchestrated by God even before I was born. And that filter I built the other year, proof of it. Look, when I was doing drink making, there was a brand on the side of it, and once that brand turned up, a major part of my life in regards to that occurred. Not like saying, like, as you see things manifest, but chickens. And I've known for a while that chickens are like the most important part of my universe. I've got him because he's the guard dog of the chickens. And I haven't had the chooks. I've only got one chook at the moment, and my old dog's looking after her. And so this is like, God has a plan. So there's a family that there's been a battle and an issue going on in a council, and they got evicted out of their house, unfortunately. And the cleanup started 2 years ago. Anyway, this weekend that just went, right, they had to move. And with them having to move, a few days before it, I was driving along the side of the road, and with my vehicle, see how Jesus loves you? See how there's a canopy on it? This is where it all started. This is how God works. It just flips your mind out. That was sitting on the side of the road. And it's not just that. I mean, it may look a bit dirty, but it's in perfect condition. All the windows, there's even doors. It's a God gift. God gifts are awesome because they're little hidden gems covered underneath dirt, dust, and cobwebs. Anyway, so I saw that, and I was like, fuck, I better pull in here. And one thing leads to the next. I go in and have a chat to them. It turns out I actually knew the people. And they put it on the side of the road because they were just like, well, it's time to get rid of the gear, because it was the family home. And so I talked to the grandmother and the grandfather, and I was like, talking about the chooks, and I was like, there's a chook pen out the back, and they're like, you can have that if you want. Like, are you kidding me? Anyway, so I was looking at it, and I was like, I'm either going to have to cut this in half, or I'm going to have to hire a car trailer. Anyway, I hired the car trailer because that's the size of it. Not a bad chook pen, no. And it overhung. Look, there are other things that I got with it as well. Commercial size feeder box, a proper garden net, plus some cabinets and stuff. But just chucked it inside of the so this here came with it as well, and that there will essentially be the step up to the roofs that are inside of this. Look, it doesn't sound like much, but it's how it all comes together. So I get home and I needed to start this project that I'm starting. And so last night I spoke to someone, and I've got chooks to go and collect. And it actually makes sense because I've been asking God for a while, how am I expected to get back into the gym if I've gone vegetarian? Chooks. Not vegan, vegetarian. You need protein. And until there is a scientific way to prove to me beyond ruminants what it is that produces the full spectrum of 21 amino acids or hemp oil seed, but that's still not enough. How am I going to get enough protein to be able to continue to live the lifestyle that I would like to live? Anyway, eggs. Unreal. So at this moment, getting it all built, and I mean it all built, this is just where we're at right now. And yesterday I was like, I need to cover the bottom of this in, fox-proof it. And I was like, I'm going to go for a walk because I could bet you what I'm looking for is already here. And so I got the measurements of it, and just went for a random walk out into the forest. And it turns out there was 3 gates sitting in the middle of a forest, and it had this chain mesh wire sitting on it. And I got the tape measure out. Lo and behold, wouldn't you guess it? It was a foot longer either way. I don't know how old this chook pen is, and moreover, I don't know how old that bloody gate is. That gate must be 50 years old. Anyway, so I went there this morning and pulled the mesh off, and I flipped this over and welded some reinforcement bracings because I want to be able to pick this up with the tractor and move it as I need to, because I've got the forks to be able to do it. And so I weld the reinforcements in, as you do, and then I roll the mesh out over the top of it, and I started wiring a few bits of it in there, and I'm like, you know what, bugger this, like there's got to be a better way to do it. And I'm umming and ahhing and contemplating, and I was like, how can I fix chain mesh to steel? And something hit me. I was like, oh, hurricane strapping. Fantastic. So we run with hurricane strapping, like hurricane strapping is the truth. It is something that you need, and it has so many benefits. So with the hurricane strapping, obviously, the other day I bought, 500 of them, plus other screws, but just they were a part of it, tech screws. And I was like, well, I'm going to hurricane strap the chain mesh to the steel. Now here's the funny thing. That roll of hurricane mesh, I've used it for particular things. I used it to put a 12-inch fitting together for a water main. I've used it for the chook house. I've used it for the dog bedding. I've used it for the dog house. Just particular things. It is a strapping, hurricane strapping. And anyway, so this hurricane strapping, I thought, what better way to fox-proof something than with hurricane strapping? So I get the roll, and as you do, I start to fix it down with tech bits, working a dream, And I'm like, God, this is going to be close. Anyway, wouldn't it, you credit you, the roll that I had sitting there, there's a foot left. I knew this was a God project. I love God projects because they're chicken soup with the soul. They're so rough. They're so beautiful. I mean, look at the old hen pen. Someone else's trash is a person's treasure. It's just this borrowed blue, old new. It's everything beautiful about life. But just how on earth was it always known that I was going to get the bloody hurricane strapping to put that mesh down, and I wasn't going to go down to get the mesh for the welding? Everything was already predetermined, and you think that you've got an original thought or an idea. No. Anyway, so I just can't believe I even came down to the last foot of my hurricane strapping. So I have to get another roll now. But that's how accurate and precise God runs our life. Millimeter perfect stuff. So there we go. I'm going to be getting 15 chickens. And that could be a concern, a conundrum, but for the environment that I'm trying to run, I've got all the gear. They're ruminants, remember, so seeds as well as grass. So I've been feeding the amount that it would cost to feed those anyway, and wild birds, so it doesn't bother me feeding the chooks. The only thing that concerns me is if you get 7 days straight of 15 eggs each, 70, you're looking at 105 eggs a week. I ain't going to eat 105 eggs a week, but I surely will hook into the egg yolks. Oh, not the egg yolks, the egg whites. So, really big stuff, because obviously we've got the gardening and everything else that's going on as well, and we've got the next step of life in general. But don't think for one moment that God hasn't planned every last bit of your life out to the dotted I and crossed T. This is proof. I was just going to say, that's one door shut. A new door's about to open for me. Like, this is how it happens. Bye for now. May God bless you.